All right, so I'm going to switch gears on all my videos moving forward because what I realized when I first created this YouTube channel is that I didn't tell enough of the story about me and why you should care, why anybody should care. Ultimately, we're all human beings, and in the age of Sora 2 and VO3 and all of these new AI tools, it's really easy to lose our personal touch and that authenticity that we get with human team and interaction. So start off again, my name is Zach Brick. I have been in marketing for a lot of years. I started out in the auto industry and spent 15 years in that industry. And it just was not conducive to a healthy lifestyle. And that being said, I enjoyed it and I learned a lot. And I definitely gained a lot of experience in that industry, understanding how many different marketing technologies work, how big businesses run with big dollars. And it was good overall. The problem that I found as I started getting older, I'm now 42. I started in the auto industry when I was 27, was that it just took all of my time. And that didn't matter so much when I was younger, but now that I'm getting older, well, especially when I had my first child, I realized like for the first 3 years of his life, I had a boy first and now I have a baby girl. I found that like I just wasn't around enough. And that's the worst thing we can do as humans is just not be present enough with our kids and our family. And at the same time, spending that much time in that industry, I found that I just wasn't like expanding on my own ability to be more creative and to focus on my own interests and to be present in my kids' lives. So I had kind of a big life moment after 15 years of working in the auto industry. The dealership was getting sold to a billionaire, and the energy in the place that I'd worked for 15 years completely shifted. And it was very apparent that we were being bought by a corporate entity and that there was no longer that human personal touch that you have with a smaller business or a smaller dealership. That being said, the dealership I worked for was McCadden Cadillac GMC Buick in Boulder, and it was owned by Mark McCadden. Amazing owner, amazing company to work for. But when it sold, just everything you could just feel that energy shift. So I already knew that I wanted to spend more time with my kids. I wanted to do more. So about 3 years ago, it's now 2025, so that would be 2022, I decided that I would take all of the knowledge and the skills that I had learned along the way and basically start my own marketing agency. And wow, it's been quite the journey. I'm not going to go into that so much. In being able to walk away from that stable 6-figure job and say, you know what, I'm going to become an entrepreneur. I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to step away from the normal comfort zone and I'm going to, do this thing completely without any safety net. And, I had a little bit saved and we had already purchased a home, so I didn't need to try to qualify for a new home. We already had cars and we had this perfect setup for me to work from home and do videos like this and do all sorts of amazing things for small businesses. And just to give you a little background, we started by, building websites for clients. And the cool thing about building websites is it really opens the door to all of the other marketing services. And one of the first services that we signed up for, since I already had a lot of experience with it, was meta marketing and Google Ads. And I had always done it for big corporations. I hadn't done it for actually running businesses or for small businesses, locally. And so that was the catalyst that kind of pushed us into becoming a full service agency. We now have employees all over the world. And, that's the crazy part. Like when you start a marketing agency, you'll find that a lot of times you start as a one-man show, doing the thing yourself. And then as you start to grow a little bit of notoriety, people find you and you start to develop these relationships. And the key there is you have to network. And sometimes people will just hit you up just trying to sell you stuff. And that's your opportunity to be like, I'm not really interested in buying, but let's talk so we can understand what we both do. And maybe we can create a relationship from there. So now I'm in year 3 and we use all sorts of cool softwares. As you know, if you watch any of my other videos, I am all about AI technology because I feel like if we don't embrace it now, we're going to just get left behind. So those who do embrace, again, this is my belief, that we'll get left behind because we're not adopting new ways to utilize these AI technologies to improve our life and give us our time back. And I'm all about getting your time back, more time with your family, and we can use these systems to do so. I want to give a little backstory on how I got here, and I'm not going to spend much time on trying to sell you anything. I also want to provide some value and some new things that I've been learning. So we run our own SaaS company. I don't know if you're familiar with SaaS. SaaS is software as a service. And we have some affiliate links that you can check out. Any software that we ever recommend, because it will change your life if you fully commit to learning it and utilizing it in your business. And so my new strategy for most of the videos moving forward is just to provide the value on these technologies and how they can help your business. And I'm sure I'll create some sort of back end to try to share more knowledge. And I don't know if that's going to be in the form of a course or one-on-one training. I haven't decided on that. We're still very busy with agency work, but I really just want to come with like this really just unedited video, just coming to you to explain a bit about me, my story, the kind of founding of Pulse Marketing Solutions. Again, moving forward, the whole goal here is to provide value to you and hopefully help you improve your business. There is one technology that I want to touch on this video because I think it's super relevant to what's happening right now in the new technologies that are coming to market. So we live in all the standard tools that we all do. So if that's Anthropic, Claude, amazing for copywriting, and a lot of other things as well. ChatGPT we use 24/7, and we've built all these custom GPTs to help us organize what we do as an agency. So whether that's for SEO or story branding or whatever it may be. But there's some new tools that we've been using more recently, and Lovable is one of those. And Lovable is a software platform that allows you to build full working applications, websites. It's almost unimaginable what you can create. We created a full SaaS platform within about a week because we had this concept of some of the integrations we needed for the agency. We needed them to be smoother. So we developed this tool called Neural Fluent. It's a company, it's trademarked Neural Fluent AI, and it's an integrator between like voice applications like Vapi. Vapi is one of the most advanced voice platforms on the market, but it's very technical and there's a lot of back-end setup. So we wanted to create a way that we could have folks integrate this easily into their site. So we created app.neuralfluent.ai, and you can check it out if you want. Really cool product. But we used Lovable to build this thing. And I'm no coder, but I spent a lot of time understanding the back end of different platforms and understand how to kind of read JSON. I'm not great at writing it. Over the time of connecting different tools together using APIs and, kind of figuring out how all this worked, we were able to essentially build this platform from scratch using AI tools. And that's the crazy thing, right? We could build an entire working app, build the foundation of it, build the front end, connect it to Stripe, and learn how to set up all of the user management. And we did all of that in about a week because we had concept ready to go. And this is the kind of stuff that you can do now. You just have to be able to know how to train it, what to ask it. And a lot of times I'm actually like playing these tools against each other. So like I'll get an answer back from Lovable and I'll copy and paste that into a trained GPT in ChatGPT until they both agree. And then, I implement the change in Lovable. So that's a crazy thing, right? So I really want to get into this new piece of technology that has now hit the market. And, I think everything's kind of coming to fruition with AI tools. And so like, I know, ChatGPT just recently launched their agent builder. And what I'm guessing on the back end, and I don't know this for sure, but I think a lot of these platforms now had already had the beta test and are now releasing these new features live. And, there's been a lot of MCP servers where you can like essentially connect to the API and control entire user interfaces just from the back end without touching them. So just all through API calls, which is really amazing. If you don't understand what that is, essentially it allows a connection to a back end of a platform. For instance, like Go High Level, which is an amazing CRM, to be able to control the functions without actually using the interface, which is incredible. And then you can connect to other tools. You can send data two ways, which is really important to integrating different platforms for businesses to just automate different tasks. So we know about all that. The one I want to talk about today is Perplexity. So I've used Perplexity for research and kind of scraping websites, but Perplexity came out with Perplexity Comet. And I literally just started this morning, and I've been building websites in Lovable and building applications and using so many tools now that I've really figured out how to kind of get the results that I want. I guess that's referred to as vibe coding. I'm not a coder, but I do have a really strong sense of how things need to work together. And I have enough experience reading JSON and integrating systems manually after spending hours tinkering with stuff that I have a good working knowledge of things. And so Perplexity Comet has absolutely rocked my world this morning. I spent about 2 hours, and I have something called it's a self-hosted N8N server that we use to create API connections for clients. So that way we can send data to our CRM. We use a white label version of Go High Level. that we've customized for our clients. And what I figured out is that I can literally open up my cloud-based self-hosted N8N server, and I can open up my voice API system, Vapi, or any website, app-based website, and I can literally use prompts just like I could in Lovable in the new browser. Again, it's called Perplexity Comet, and it works very similarly to Lovable, except it takes over. So I can literally build N8N workflows in this new Perplexity browser, Comet, and watch it work while I'm doing other tasks. So it's so just mind-boggling. And since I already had this experience of using these systems, at this point, I'm just so blown away. So if you're an agency or a business owner and you're interested in this kind of stuff, we now can basically build these automations on the fly twice as fast than we ever could before without hiring a third-party N8N developer. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some guys out there or gals that are amazing at building very, very advanced workflows. But if you pull a template from N8N now and you want to make it work, the main stuff you've got to do is just pull in your API keys and connect the tools together. But literally, you could use this browser for everything. So this morning, I spent so much time in it that I hit the freemium version of the account where I had to subscribe. It was $20 per month, or you could pay $200 for the year. I was so blown away. I just paid for the $200 for the year because I'm just like, oh my God, this is insane. And so moving forward, I'm going to just create a lot more content like this that just gives you good information on how you can apply these things to your business. And if you want to inquire with us on how we can just do it for you, that's awesome too. But ultimately, I'm here just to provide you with free, valuable information because that's what I think is most beneficial to the market right now, especially again with, I would say, insurgence of things like Sora 2, VO3. Like, my goodness, it's just crazy. The tech is changing so fast. So I'm gonna leave this video with one primary thing I'm gonna say again. I said it at the beginning of the video, is that we have to adapt if we are going to preserve our function and our jobs and our livelihood. We have to adapt and use these tools and figure out how to create solutions that nobody's thought of. So if you've got a niche, start using this to figure out a way to solve a specific problem in your niche. And with these tools, you can do that. So if you find yourself working on some specific project and you finally got it working for yourself, find a way to monetize that. And you can do that with these systems really quickly. So again, Zach Brick, Pulse Marketing Solutions, Erie, Colorado, family man. I love life. I love everything I do. I'm a geek when it comes to all of this new technology. I'm also gonna make sure that you've got all the links down below for High Level if you wanna sign up. We're a direct affiliate. There's a lot of guys out there that pitch this stuff. We'll give you all sorts of freebies with it. I'm not going to get into what it is, but if you want review automation, you want a snapshot that has a full business configuration for your specific niche, you could get preloaded with something like Go High Level that could literally run your entire business, give you AI tools like AI voice, all that stuff. So affiliate links down below, sign up on your own, and then you just hit us up and we'll share anything you want, really. We're not going to make it too formal. I'm also going to drop some links about more information about us. And if you want to book a call to discuss this and how maybe we could improve your business. But again, I'm not here to really sell. I just want to provide valuable information. I'd love to also, we all want this. We want to improve our businesses. So if this is just a conversation, about how your business could be improved, I'll do that free of charge. I'm happy to just hop on with you. And lastly, I'm going to continue making more videos like this. And basically, my next stage on this is probably to get into talking more about the tech and specific implementation. If you don't already know this, we're primarily focused on the MedSpa hormone replacement clinic niche. We really found a very singular focus there. And that being said, if you're not in that niche and you still want to chat, I'm happy to chat with you. Maybe we can still help. So thanks again for watching. Ultimately, this next video is going to be deep on how you can use Perplexity Comet on WordPress. So I'm going to take some time to just really dig in. But if you're already using tools in your WordPress website like Rank Math or other plugins for SEO, basically you can use this browser to fully optimize your website, all of your pages, your schema, all your backend pretty quickly just using this tool. So I think this is really key for how things are changing. And so if you want to watch that video, it'll be right over here. And thank you so much for watching. Please give us a like and subscribe. We appreciate you. Thanks so much. Talk to you again soon.